Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And today, I actually have a question for y'all. If I were to give you $1,000 right now, what would be the first thing that you'd buy? Or actually, what would be the first crypto that you would purchase at this point? Like right today, right this second, which one would you buy right now? Let me know in the comment section down below. By putting something there, you're also automatically entering into our $100 giveaway that we give away the first time a video hits 1,500 likes within 24 hours. And all you have to do to enter is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. Having said that, I've been scouting on Twitter, and I saw a pretty interesting tweet come by from Luke Martin. He is at VentureCoinist over on Twitter. By the way, go follow me over on Twitter at TheDustyBC. Go check it out. He said, what if those TikTok analysts are right about astronomy and XRP actually does go to 589, basically $589 per coin? Pablo Escobar said, I'll eat my if XRP even gets close. Now, of course, some interesting reactions came up there. But the more interesting part about it all is if you scroll down a little bit, or actually, just, I guess, look for the right people who've been talking. One of the interesting things I noticed was a reply or kind of a section that went on here. For example, or let's quickly check. Hype said, the daily FX market volume is nearly $6.6 trillion. If XRP is used for stablecoins in this market, then 45 billion tokens in circulation would be nearly worth $150 per XRP, which I believe came from either the Bearable Bull or Moonlamb. I think it's the Bearable Bull. And I've already told people this analysis, this idea doesn't actually work out. It's not really logical. Maybe he came up with it himself, though. The point is there's quite a lot of people who are talking about it. However, the daily FX market volume is nearly 6.6 trillion, and there's, let's say, 45 billion, even though it's 100 billion, but let's say 45 billion tokens. It doesn't actually mean you can just divide them up and be like, okay, that's what the price should be, because it's not like that volume is where the price should be, for example. I mean, it could be that the velocity is, let's say, 10,000, so it could be that price divided by 10,000 to still be able to do it. However, of course, you have to also take into consideration that never are 45 billion tokens completely available in circulation. However, in the end of things, it doesn't have to be 150, so this little point makes absolutely no sense. Hopefully you guys get that, though, why this means nothing. All right, I'm not saying it won't go to $150 or it's not possible. I'm just saying it is not necessary. Michael said, wow, that's an interesting way to spell Michael. I've never seen it that way, but why in the world would XRP be used for the stablecoins when stablecoins exist? And there's a very good answer to that. You can actually check that out here yourself. It's a pretty long little thread, and there's been multiple people talking about this. But Hype also said, what are your thoughts on this, talking about issuing stablecoins? And Luke said, I asked Joe Katz what XRP is useful for because it did not make sense to me, and his response didn't make sense to me either. If it's for payments, stablecoins are better. Even if you think it's better for payments, there's no incentive to hold, not SOV or income generating. David Swartz replied, and that's the CTO of Ripple. He said, if the whole world settled on one stablecoin, I'd agree with you. But stablecoins are always going to be tied to jurisdictions and counterparties too. So it is unlikely one winner will emerge. And this basically refers to the fact that you can have a dollar stablecoin, you can have a euro, you can have whatever, but it will always be based upon a currency, right? That's what it's stable to. It will be based upon something which not the whole world's going to agree with. If we all kind of united and went for one world currency, a stablecoin would be better because it would be stable all the time for every party at the same rate. It would be good. But in this case here, a stablecoin is only as stable as the economy in that country. For example, the stablecoin that people are using right now mostly is the US dollar stablecoin like Tether and USDC. But that one is pegged to the dollar. And if Biden goes to print something, that stablecoin will actually be worth less, theoretically speaking. David Swartz said today, one of the roles of the dollar is acting as an intermediary or bridge between currencies. For that role, its tie to the U.S. jurisdiction is both an advantage and I bit my tongue. Better U.S. Disadvantage, better U.S. than a worse jurisdiction, but a pure digital asset is still better. Let's see what else, because I think it went on. Yeah, there we go. In that world, there will be need to let's go on. Let's try it again. In that world, there will need to be concentrations of liquidity. You can't go from gold to shares of an obscure REIT by finding people who want to go to those same shares to gold. The liquidity concentrating asset likely can't be one country's currency. How could that be universal? So, sure, if you get paid in dollars and pay your bills in dollars, it may make sense for you to use a dollar-denominated stablecoin for short-term holdings and payments. Absolutely. But I can't see a dollar-denominated stablecoin being your direct connection to the rest of the world economy because it's neither universal nor neutral. And a good example for this one I have is I have to exchange US dollars to euros every time I really want to do something with it. All right, so maybe for a lot of you who are in the US, it can be very simple because you already have your real currency. But to me, I always have to think about when I'm going to switch that USDC over because, again, the dollar value in comparison to euro or in exchange with euro switches as well. So at one point, for example, let's say my USDC is worth 800 euros, and another point it's worth, I don't know, let's say 820 euros. Of course, you're going to watch for the right point to exchange it because if you have more money than that, it can be a huge amount that it changes, right? And I don't want to play an FX game, all right? And it's not my real thing. I don't want to play a foreign exchange game. But let's see. For one thing, it will only be used by people who would do business with its counterparty and who find its jurisdiction friendly. Medium-sized financial institutions have been pretty receptive to the argument that they're not going to get everyone else to use a system they control, and given that, surely they would prefer a system nobody can control to one that's controlled by their largest competitors/adversaries. I know this is pretty far out there, and maybe I'm just a bit crazy to suggest this, but maybe some governments will see the wisdom of this same reasoning. And if they can't run the system, maybe a system nobody can run is actually better than one run by their geopolitical adversaries. My personal vision for XRP since 2013 or so was this idea of deep, open public pools of liquidity that anyone, anywhere could contribute to and draw off of, a global market for assets that someone happens to already have exactly where someone else happens to need them to be. Definitely interesting, a very deep, long little convo here. He went on to answer quite a lot of questions, and I really love that about David here. Again, he answered one of my questions, and thus I'm definitely a little bit cooler than some of you guys right now, because again, he answered one of my questions. Just joking, of course. But Crypto Carta said, why was? He said, I probably should have said has been, it still is. And Ron said, but you've had years and years and not even attempted to implement anything like this. The only thing you've done is sell XRP on the market. David said, what do you think we designed the XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange for? Why do you think we built pathfinding and incremental payment execution? And again, that also went deep. A lot of people asked questions about this. I tried to find a link to something that explained this functionality. This was the best one I could find. Maybe someone else knows something better. Paths, for example. Payments of issued currencies must traverse paths of connected users and order books to get to another place, logically. But yeah, this was a pretty interesting one. All right, hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. Let's move on, though. Let's move on because we got some other cool stuff. This is a very long one if you want to know. All right. I won't link it down below, but you can just find it by looking this guy up. Or I'll just quickly retweet it here so you guys can actually see it a little bit easier. I'll also retweet the one from David, I guess, so you guys can also... Oh, this one. Let's retweet this one. And let's retweet this one from David. You'll be able to find the whole thread if you want to read it yourself once more, maybe. I don't know. Then Ripple-backed Flare announces Litecoin airdrop. A lot of you guys were saying in the comment section, talk about this a little bit more. But I'm going to get to that in just a second. Make sure you also check out 5 Minute Crypto, by the way. It is my backup channel, but also a channel on which I'll just be posting a 5-minute video every single day. Just talking to you guys about crypto. But it's basically the stuff that I'm not covering on DustyBC at the end of the day. But also just stuff that's really in a different kind of niche. It's mostly just crypto in general, not really coin specific. You can see here Ethereum, Bitcoin, some Stellar and stuff, but it's basically just the most important thing that has happened in crypto that day. All right, so it's going to be one video every single day. I'm going to try and keep it up for the rest of the year. So check it out. Go subscribe to it. Also, check out GSX. It is the first gold-backed coin. I think it's definitely quite interesting. I bought a couple $1,000s worth of it. Again, I think it has a pretty interesting roadmap, pretty interesting idea. Again, there's a 22% bonus right now for purchasing and a 5% bonus for using my link. Go check it out. A link is down below. And if you're from the US, go check out Webull because you can get 4 stocks for free. This is just an exchange, right? You got stocks you can buy in cryptos and whatever. So yeah, the reason people want me to talk about this a little bit more is because now Flare has opened the option for Litecoin as well, right? Basically, they opened the doors for Litecoin. Ripple-backed Flare announces Litecoin airdrop. The Flare network has announced it will support Litecoin. They also said information about an airdrop to Litecoin holders would come soon. Could their Flare integration even more protocols? So I actually, if you guys follow my videos all the time, have covered this in depth already. I talked about kind of all the parts of it basically, but the only important part is that 5 billion Flare is going to be distributed for Litecoin participants. It's basically to give all the Litecoin guys a chance to to enter the game as well. It's basically allowing more operability. Interoperability, is that the word I should use there? It's not like they are switching over from XRP to Litecoin or anything like that. It's just they're adding something to the game, basically. And this 5 billion is not coming out of our wallets or anything like that. They're giving this away from the 55 billion that they have. Again, it's not like a very generous thing or so because they still have 50 billion left. It's not really crazy, but I think it's a nice thing to get this done. And eventually, I think a lot will come with this as well. It's just a matter of time, though, in my opinion. Then Bitcoin could target $64,000 next. When to take profits? Crypto Daily answers. Bitcoin price is significantly resisted at 44,000 according to Fibonacci ratios and could target 64,000 as the next target price after that. According to Crypto Daily, the Bitcoin rally could continue due to further increasing buying pressure from institutions and the Federal Reserve's actions, which is quite logical. However, yeah, this is such an easy little comment saying, okay, there's quite a lot of institutions who are purchasing and thus the price should keep going up. But the thing is, guys, with XRP, I sometimes like to explain to people, there's always an institutional backing to it. There's also quite a lot of real community built on top. So really, XRP will always be bought. XRP will always stay around. The question is how high it will go. But saying, yeah, there's quite a lot of institutions buying it and the Federal Reserve is pushing a lot of money out is not necessarily a one-to-one ratio for price increase. There's, of course, quite a lot of other things which also add to it. And that's the thing. Even though maybe from the fundamental perspective it should go up, people are irrational and the price still might do the exact opposite of what should happen. So it's not like you should count on this, but we can see another level higher. I said, guys, if we break 50,000, we'll most likely be seeing a quick rush to 100,000 pretty close, pretty soon here. But again, that's just my idea about the situation. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and take care, everybody.